So this week is Valentine's week. It's all about love. And of course, the first love we have is the love that we came from, which is God. So I'm going to share a song that I wrote called You Are Love. And for those at home, I'm singing it a cappella. So if you're not hearing background music, it's because there isn't any. There was a time when I didn't think that anyone could love me. I was too beaten, too battered and broken for anyone to want me. Then somebody told me to listen to the words God whispers in my ear. You are loved. You are beautiful. You are precious in my eyes. You are worthy. You're a miracle. You are perfect as you are. You are loved. You are beautiful. You are precious in my eyes. You are worthy. You're a miracle. You are perfect as you are. I am loved. I am beautiful. I am precious in God's eyes. I am worthy. I'm a miracle. I am perfect as I am. You are perfect as you are.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity of London. Could you move the next slides, please? So we just welcome everyone that is at 501 Nelson Street this morning, and everyone who may be listening online, or even those of you who may be listening to in the future. So we just are grateful that you've been able to show up today, to be able to be part of this service and to partake in everything that is unfolding today at Unity of London. So we bless you and we welcome you. Next slide, please. So Peggy, I'm just going to ask you to please advance the slides. Thank you. So at Unity of London, of course, we have a vision. So if you can please repeat with me, the vision for Unity of London is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. So that is our vision and our mission to go along with that vision. And you can repeat that with me as well, is co-creating with spirit to transform lives through shared spiritual awakening. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we are a loving, inclusive, supportive community, and that we can set aside our egos and beliefs and fears and everything that separates us to connect and be all as one. It also means that we promote our highest God self-expression, self-love, letting the light of who we really are shine through, which is God's loving beings. So, of course, we have 5 principles at Unity that we adhere to. And so the first one is God is. There is only one God, God the good omnipotent in my life. And I am part of that God. There is a little spark of divinity within me. And with that divine spirit, we co-create the life that I live. We connect through prayer and meditation. And it's not just enough to know that we are following or that we know these divine principles, but that we live those principles as well. We act with them in the world. And of course, one of the most important things is that we inspire people to make a positive difference in the world. And what that means is through actions big and small, through being of service, to reaching out, to smiling at your neighbor. These all can make a difference in people's lives. So be the change. And of course, we also provide fellowship and education for spiritual seekers of all walks of life. It doesn't make any difference what your background is, what you have experienced. If you are open to fellowship and education, spiritual education, we're the place. So this morning we have some announcements. Today is Unity of London's Super Bowl Sunday. So I just think that this is a wonderful opportunity for people to get together. And so you can warm up with some delicious soup after lunch. And there's all sorts of different varieties that are available. And I'm just sorry that I'm not there in person to be able to have some soup with you. So enjoy that after the service. All right, coming up on Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day in advance. We have Uncle Jimmy's Jamboree with our own Jim Chapman. And so this is going to be a new bi-weekly series featuring top musical talent. And this week is going to be Valentine's Day love songs. And just look at the wonderful people that are going to be attending. Now that is at Unity Church of London at 501 Nelson Street. It's from 8 to 9:30 p.m. And you can book your seats now. There are limited seats, so you can e-transfer your $10 to Jim Chapman at Rogers.com. And one of the things that Jim mentioned last week on the service is that this is something that they want to do on a regular basis, like it said, bi-weekly. So please come out and support all those wonderful musicians and bring your sweetheart along too. The other thing that is coming up on Wednesday, on Valentine's Day as well, from 2 to 3:30 p.m., that's Eastern Standard Time, our time, is we're going to be using Unity's Lenten book for this year, 40 Days Let Go and Let God, and there will be a discussion of Lent each afternoon from the 14th of February to March 27th, and that's hosted by our licensed Unity Teachers of Canada. So at the bottom there is the Zoom only password and passcode, and offerings are gratefully accepted for this class. Now, on March the 10th, we're going to be having the annual general meeting, Unity's annual general meeting. So after service, there will be a quick potluck between 11:30 and 12. And then at 12, the annual general meeting will start, including the board reports and the financials, budgets, and of course, board election. So I'm just going to say that having been, I think, I'm past president, I've been president twice, that it is a really interesting experience to be on the board. And so if you are considering it, I know that there has been a talk about that there obviously needs to be some new board members, and it's a really important thing to do, and a really important growth opportunity, and just to learn more about Unity and to get to know your fellow Unity members even better. And today, of course, is also Celebration Sunday. So this is a big, big week. So just think in your mind all of the things that you're grateful for, and let us know if you'd like to celebrate this today. Today, we also have our prayer chaplains, Sylvia Vanderhook. She is at 501 Nelson in person, so she will be back in the prayer room after service, so you can pray one-on-one with her. Or if you would like a prayer, please message in the chat room, and I will be able to pray with you after service as well. And now we have more music by Debbie. Thank you, Debbie.
Actually going to have, is it on? Actually going to have music with all of us because I'm going to teach you a chant. And this chant is called Your Heart and My Heart. So we're going to stick with the love thing. And it's actually a chant that was written by Leah Holkinson, and it's a Rumi quote. So it goes like this. Your heart and my heart are very, very old friends. Your heart and my heart are very old friends. So we'll do the first part together. Your heart and my heart are very, very old friends. You guys got that quick. The second part. Your heart and my heart are very old friends. You've done this before. And this is a visionary chant. So we're going to sing it through twice. The first, multiple times. So the first time we're going to sing it, you're going to focus, you're going to visualize a person that you are really connected to, someone that you have that deep love. Could be your spouse, your partner, it could be a child, it could be a grandchild, and you're going to visualize singing this to them. The second two times we're going to sing it, you're going to visualize someone that you have a challenge with. Because of course, as it's set up on the screen, we're all one. So our hearts are old friends, even if we're having a challenge with them. The third time, you're going to visualize singing it to yourself. And then the fourth time, because the world is in such need of love right now, I want you to visualize singing it to the world. And of course, that could look like anything, and we'll all see it differently. So whatever that looks like for you is the right and perfect thing. So are you ready? So this is that person that you love. And if you want to close your eyes so it helps you to visualize better, you go right ahead and do that. All right. Your heart and my heart are very, very old friends. Your heart and my heart are very old friends. Same person. Your heart and my heart are very, very old friends. Your heart and my heart are very old challenge with. Your heart and my heart are very, very old friends. Your heart and my heart are very old friends. Your heart and my heart are very, very old friends. Your heart and my heart are very old friends. Yourself. Your heart and my heart are very, very old friends. Your heart and my heart are very old friends. Your heart and my heart are very, very old friends. Your heart and my heart are very old friends. The world. Your heart and my heart are very, very old friends. Your heart and my heart are very old friends. Last time. Your heart and my heart are very, very old friends. Your heart and my heart are very old friends. Beautiful. Give yourselves a round of applause. That was perfect.
All right, so most of you know that Unity was formed on prayer, and for over 130 years, Silent Unity has been answering our prayers. As we call in, or initially as people wrote in, there were prayers that were being answered. And so for those of you at 501 Nelson, the prayer box is up at the front of the sanctuary. And so you can just take one of those little pieces of paper and write what your prayer request is, who it is for. Just their first name will do, because God is all knowing. And so those prayers are held in prayer by the prayer angels and prayer chaplains and for 30 days, and then they are sent to Unity worldwide for further prayer. So please take advantage of this service and put your names in the prayer box. And so today, let's just go into prayer now. So if you just like to close your eyes and relax into your chairs, take a couple of breaths. Just become silent and make that connection with the divine spirit within. And as we come together this morning, we are grateful for the opportunity to spend this time with our Unity community. We bless everyone attending all spiritual gatherings, knowing that there are many paths to the one God. We bless all those watching online, those at home, and those who will watch later. we call forth the divine power of strength within each and every one of us, knowing that we all have the strength to accomplish all that is ours to do. We bless everyone involved in Super Bowl Sunday, whether they are players, fans in Las Vegas, or at home. We affirm that all the players exhibit the highest power of strength to endure, stay the course, and persevere. We also bless everyone involved in Unity of London's Super Bowl today, which is taking place after service, knowing that this event comes from a place of love and service. We pray for safety and peace for everyone. And we lift up anyone who is experiencing any challenges, trusting that the highest and best is unfolding for them, and that the love of the divine spirit is surrounding them right now. We take this opportunity to hold anyone that you wish in blessings and prayer, and to speak their names quietly into this space. We bless our fellow Unity churches, Unity Spiritual Center of Ottawa and Unity of Calgary in Calgary, Alberta. And so as we move forth into the day with strength, we understand and affirm that I am all with one that is. And so it is, and so I let it be. And so this morning, we're going to call up Dawn to read the daily word and to introduce our speaker.
Good morning, all. Today's daily word is strength. Centered in divine strength, I am confident and peaceful. If I find myself struggling to bear the weight of a heavy load, if I am wondering how much farther I can travel and how much longer I can carry on, I rely on my spiritual strength to keep me going. When I align my thoughts with the divine gift and not on the weight I carry or the distance I travel, I am tapping into the power of God, expressing as me. Through divine strength, I am renewed and refreshed. I have everything I need to stay the course. Knowing the presence of God comes to me through many channels, I may ask for help and accept it gracefully when it comes. I give myself breaks and make time for prayer and my other spiritual practices. Through it all, I remain strong and graceful and grateful for God within me. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his power. Ephesians 6, verse 10. I have the honor to introduce our Reverend Mary Wood. She's been serving and has served in Unity churches in Fort Wayne, Indiana, Mississauga, Ontario, just to name a few. She retired from full-time ministry on December the 31st, 2021. Mary is the author of the book, Beyond the Fear of Stuttering, My Journey of Self-Acceptance and Freedom. With her, excuse me, with her message, I don't need to know. Let me welcome with you our dear Reverend Mary Wood.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, there I am. Wherever you go, that's true. That is so true. Wherever I go, there I am. I'm gonna Put that down there for now. It is so good to be here again. I love being here. And I'm wearing red today for Valentine's Day and also for the Kansas City Chiefs, which I am a fan of. So my talk title, I don't need to know. Very often doesn't it seem that life is full of a lot of uncertainty, and especially these days as we're watching the news from anywhere. And about the only thing that is certain is that life will change. But very often we fear and we resist change. And our resistance is often unconscious and it's often subtle. Why? Because we cling to what we've done before, what is familiar. Been there, done that. Let's do it again. We may affirm, I am willing to be changed, and yet somewhere deep within, we unconsciously resist the changes that we consciously want. Change almost always confronts us with the fear of the unknown. There's a story about a monastery in Europe which was perched high on a cliff, several hundred feet in the air. The only way to reach the monastery was to be suspended in a basket that was pulled to the top by several monks who pulled and tugged. There's a new word. Who pulled and tugged with all their strength. Well, obviously, the ride up the steep cliff in the basket was terrifying. One tourist got exceedingly nervous about halfway up as he noticed that the rope by which he was being suspended was old and frayed. With a trembling voice, he asked the monk who was riding with him in the basket, how often did they change the rope? The monk thought for a moment and then answered brusquely, whenever it breaks. We can laugh at that, but that's what we do at times. We wait until something is frayed and broken to make a change. And one thing that helps us to change is to understand this transition that we're going through. Now, transition can be uncomfortable. Anybody relate to that? Yet it's always a meaningful time. It's a time when the old order of our life is disrupted. Our old way of being is disturbed, which we are attached to many times, but it's an opportunity to gain wisdom and strength. Change happens all the time, doesn't it? Day becomes night. People and circumstances come and go. And as things change, then we can choose to accept, to adapt, to appreciate, but most of all, during these changes, we can make the choice to live and to grow, to learn and to grow. We can make a new choice when we're aware of and accept what is happening in this very present moment. When we resist it and when we react to this, then this negates the power of choice. Acceptance empowers us to make new choices. Acceptance empowers us to make new choices. Nature shows us how we die to the old and we are reborn to the new. Leaves turn color in the fall. They drop from the tree branches, and then they're followed by new growth each year. As I was looking at this morning, I was looking out the window and the trees outside there are all bare, but I know that in a couple of months, there's going to be fresh sprouts. Just as in nature, we must let go of what was so we can accept what is. I am always in a state of becoming. I need to fasten that up somewhere. And as we embrace change, then it allows us to become all that we're meant to be. We release the past and we welcome the fullness of the present moment in whatever form it takes. That's the kicker. 1 Corinthians 15:31 reads, I die every day. That starts to take more whatever as we move through our age, doesn't it? I'll be 87 next month, and it's like, oh my God, we're not going to read this too often. Within our lifetime, we have many, many beginnings and many, many endings. But very often we celebrate the beginnings, and Robert Brummett writes in his book, Finding Yourself in Transition, awesome book. Endings also need to be honored, even celebrated. He writes, we can truly experience a new beginning only when we fully dealt with the ending that preceded it. Otherwise, we simply carry the unfinished business of the past into the future. An ending can trigger unresolved grief from the past, as well as from the current loss. And so we may become scared of even a minor loss because of the Pandora's box that this might open. Here's a little of my own experience. October 1989, I can still remember it. During the month, my father died, my marriage ended, and my house was sold. They say 3 times. Sure showed up. I didn't really have time to grieve for my dad because I had to look after my mom. Then my mom died in March of 1994. And on a Sunday morning, on December the 4th, 1994, just about 9 months after my mom died, was the first Sunday I sat in Hamilton Unity up on the mountain. 9 months. When we need to know why is this happening, then this enables us trying to find something that many times we will never have the answer to, but it allows us to stay in that same place. We think we're safe. We don't have to change. We don't have to take a chance. Travel a path that we've never traveled before. But what it is our perception of the situation. That might be, we start asking questions on why did he do that or not do that? Why didn't I get the job? Why didn't that relationship work out? And when we keep asking why, then we don't take the opportunity to learn from the situation. Stop, look, and listen goes by the wayside. And why do I need to know why anyway? It may be to feel right and to control how someone else lives their life. Are you having any kind of ideas how this is working in your life? Our 10-year-old son asks why with great frequency, I read. Because his questions have moved from innocent curiosity to openly challenging us. We realize that Micah was asking questions not to gain understanding, but to gain information so he can negotiate his way out of whatever we had asked him to do. In other words, so he could get his own way. I can remember reading these words from Reverend Paul Hasselbeck, one of my teachers in school, and maybe your teachers too, where he said he doesn't ask why, but he asks how. Doesn't ask why that is happening, but asks, how can I learn from what is happening? How can I grow from what is happening? And this allows us to move forward instead of being stuck in the why. Since the Garden of Eden, human beings have succumbed to the temptation of greater knowledge. And very often in that greater knowledge, we don't like surprises. Surprises are nice if you're talking about, birthday parties and gifts. But we don't normally like to travel the unknown with limited information. Our drive to know what the future holds becomes even greater when we may be having challenges. How long is this going to last? Where will this take me? But if we're honest with ourselves, we don't really desire answers as we really desire control. There's that word again. So how do we respond to a world that seems out of control? Well, Byron Katie in her book, Loving What Is, anybody read that besides me? Love it. Love it. Very honest. And anyway, she writes in her book, the world seems that way because it is out of control. The sun rises whether we want it to or not. Someone cuts you off in traffic on your way to work. The computer crashes. The toaster stops toasting. You and I never have had control. But we have the illusion of control. When things go the way we think they should. And there's that pesky word should that I'm really trying to take out of my vocabulary. Replace it with could. Word from a song many years ago. Side by Side. Remember that song? Maybe. Don't know what's coming tomorrow. Maybe it's trouble and sorrow, but we'll travel the road, sharing our load, side by side. And I sang that even though they used to turn the mic off on me when I sang at Unity, Mississauga. Oh, she's singing again. Side by side. Matthew 6:31-33 reads, therefore do not worry, saying, what will we eat? Or what will we drink? Or what will we wear? Indeed, your heavenly Father knows you need these things. What comes next? But strive first for the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. And when you and I surrender, when we let go of the shoulds, the coulds, the right or the wrong, the good or the bad, worrying if I have enough, worrying if I am enough, then just like Daniel Nahmon's song says, I am as safe as I can be. When we surrender, we're free. We're free to be open, to be honest, to be loving towards ourselves. The next moment, the next person who shows up. The fullness of life as it is. Why? Because we're no longer full of our opinions and our expectations and our worries. So many options about so many things. we're receptive what the universe or what God has for us. And sometimes this is a surprise, let me tell you. Early in 2003, I'd been accepted for the Unity Ministerial Education Program that started on July the 6th. This was, I never, ever in my whole life thought I would be a minister. I phoned my ex-husband and told him, and there was complete silence on the end of the phone. I still laugh. So I was moving out of my apartment in Hamilton on June 30th when I got a phone call to say that I wouldn't be able to enter the United States to start school because Unity hadn't been approved to accept international students. This process, we've been watching this process for 3 months, and we all thought that it would be finalized at the end of June. But we all know what thought does, don't we? So I made arrangements to store my furniture for 2 years. That was looked after. I made a quick call to Unity Hamilton to ask if I could stay there until and if the international status was approved. So the same day I moved out of my apartment, I moved into a room in the retreat center in Hamilton Unity. And every morning when I got up, I listened to Daniel Nahmod's song. I don't need to know, because God knows. Here are the words. When things go wrong, it's natural to wonder, what celestial rule did I break? When things go right, it's logical to ponder, what credit can I take? But the truth is so much easier. I don't need a master plan. I can live here in the moment because my life is in good hands. I don't need to know where the time goes because God knows. I don't need to know what the future holds because God knows. I need never know how pain ends, how my heart mends. I can just let go because God knows. But still I find that I'm crying out for answers. Guess I'm still craving control. And still I find I'm afraid of taking chances as if I could damage my soul. But at this moment I remember, it comes so clear to me that the minute I surrender, I'm as safe as I can be. I can just let go because God knows. And then I can remember this day. And then I got a phone call on July 30th, 2003, saying that Unity had been accepted as an international school. I left on July 31st for 2 of the most incredible years of my life. Recently, when I was away, I taught the book, The Art of Uncertainty by Dennis Merritt Jones. Has anybody read that? Ooh, it's a good one. Focusing on how to live in the mystery of life and loving it. Asking, what if we could learn to accept, I don't know, and embrace the possibility that the future is full of mystery, excitement, and unlimited opportunity. We can learn to love the unknown by staying present in the moment. That keeps coming up, doesn't it? Chopra writes, Deepak Chopra, in the wisdom of uncertainty lies the freedom from our past, from the known, which is the prison of past conditioning. And in our willingness to step into the unknown, which is the field of all possibilities, we surrender ourselves to the creative mind that orchestrates the dance of the universe. Don't you love that? I love that. We don't have as much control over our lives as we believe. The only thing that we can control is what? Our next thought. What if we discovered that a new paradigm could be more fulfilling, more rewarding, and more peaceful than what we have known? Living in the I don't know and loving it is an art form that we can all master. Every Thursday night, I sit in on a meditation that's led by Robert Brummett. If anybody else is interested in this, let me know, and I'll add you onto our list. It's amazing. His lesson was this week was the 3 R's of mindfulness. Number 1 is to recognize our experience before we react. Number 2, oh, I love this. Number 2 is refrain from judging it. Ooh. And number 3 is to relax, accepting what's here, right here and right now, living in the unknown and living in the uncertainty. We say in unity that God is good, what? All the time. Let's have that all the time. Thank you. It's a wonderful place. It's full of mystery. Why? Because we never know what's coming around the next corner. We never know the good that's waiting for us right here and right now. We're open. I'm open. You're open to all possibilities and open to all that we are. We're living in the moment, content with what is, accepting and loving what is. It's an awesome place to be, and it's a wonderful way to live life. Thinking these days, I'm not sure, I'm leaving for Kansas City again on April the 28th, 27th. No, that's my grandson's birthday. I'm leaving on the 28th. Who knows? Here's a little story. I love stories. In the last century, a tourist from the States visited the famous Polish rabbi, Hafiz Hayim. He was astonished to see that the rabbi's home was only a simple room filled with books. The only furniture he had was a table and a bench. Rabbi, where is your furniture? Asked the tourist. Where is yours? Replied Hafiz. Mine, but I'm only a visitor here. And so am I, said the rabbi, content with what is. So I invite you to embrace change and to know that allows you and I to become all that we're meant to be. I can remember waking up one morning. I was living in an apartment at the bottom of John Street in Hamilton. I can remember this as clear as day. Knowing that if I change one little letter in the word change, what do I get? The word chance. Change is a chance to love, to grow, to be who we truly are. And we are always in a state of becoming. So let's move through the transitions in our lives with the strength that we have, evolving in spiritual understanding. Let us welcome the fullness of this glorious present moment in whatever form it takes. Why? Because I don't need to know. Because God knows. And so it is. And so it is. And so now I invite you to close your eyes if this feels comfortable for you. Maybe put your hand on your heart. And just take a breath. But just know that in that breath, every moment of every day, morning, noon, night, whatever, that this presence of God is always with us. In the breath that we breathe, in the trees that we see, the flowers as they start to bloom, that wherever we are in our journey, that this presence of God is always there to lead us, to guide us, to support us, and to let us know that we are never alone, no matter what path we have taken. And sometimes a new way of living, a new path, can bring us experiences that we've never had before. And so we're scared, and it's okay to feel this way. And as we begin to know how we feel, then let us know that we can move through that. We can move to this other place, this other knowing that we are never alone, and that this presence of God, the Christ, that indwells each and every one of us, is always who we are. And so we can say, I don't need to know what the future holds, because God knows. And mean it. And live it. And share it. I don't need to know what the future holds, because God knows. And so we say thank you for these words. We say thank you for writings that come from many different places, but let us know who we truly are. We are love. We are truth. We are God. And now let us spend a few moments in the silence, in this presence, in the silence. And so today, with great gratitude in our hearts for this truth, for each and every one of us who loves us and supports us as we love and support them. And we hold our hearts, any special people that we are holding today, or we know that the presence is who they are, always with them, leading and guiding them just as this presence leads and guides us. And so for this day, for this moment, and all that it is, we say thank you, God. Amen. No, who's next?
So thank you very much, Mary, Reverend Mary, for that wonderful talk today, and just so much, so many layers and depths to that. And one of the things that brought to mind to me when you were quoting from Corinthians was sort of the opposite of that from Mary Mann Morrissey, who says every day is a brand new baby day. And we can co-create and we can explore and we can be in wonderment of what is going to happen in our lives next. So thank you very much for that wonderful, wonderful talk today. We've got more music now from Deb Long. Thank you, Deb. You're just doing an amazing job today.
Thank you. So I don't have to know. How many here are seeking a deeper connection to God, Spirit, Jehovah? So what's stopping you? Because I want to know what's going to be expected of me, because I want to know what I have to give up, because I want to know. And thank you, Mary. We don't know. We don't need to know because God knows. So I, in August, registered into the spiritual direction course because I do want a deeper connection to God. And within days of saying yes to that program, even though I don't know what it's going to be, I was given this song. So it's called Going Deeper. Going deeper, a closer walk with God. Going deeper, connecting to the love. I have struggled through my lifetime and it's time to let it go. Through forgiveness of myself and others, I have learned how much I can grow in peace and happiness. Joy is my heritage. I don't have to suffer anymore. God within me provides all that I will ever need. Today I choose to surrender my life to you. Going deeper, a closer walk with God. Going deeper, connected to the love. My life will never be the same, and for this I am so grateful. I see the world from a brighter place that has been there waiting for me. In peace and happiness, joy is my heritage. I don't have to suffer anymore. God within me provides all that I will ever need. Today I choose to surrender my life to you. Going deeper, a closer walk with God. Going deeper, connecting to the love. I'm going deeper.
Okay, so now we're going to be grateful and to take this opportunity to contribute to Unity of London. We know that many of you contribute through your time, talents, and treasures on a regular basis, and we are certainly grateful for that. So if you can just advance the slide, please. Okay, so we thank you for your donations and know that they can be made through check or credit card using the Tithely site or by e-transfer to unityoflondon@hotmail.com. So just thank you very much for just continuing to support this spiritual community. So Peggy, I can't see if anybody is coming up to the front anymore. You've got me on a different screen here somehow. Okay, so I'm assuming that the collection has already been taken. So if you can please repeat with me our prosperity blessing. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Sorry about that. Okay, and we now say the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. I am the light. The love of God enfolds me. I am the love. The power of God protects me. I am the power. The presence of God watches over me. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Yay, God. Okay, so now we're going to start our peace song. So let's everybody get together.
So much. Like, I don't know.